How you doing today? This is Tuesday, again with Wayne Foster with the WC Property Investment, where we take this opportunity to come wherever you at to watch this show that deals on Let's Build Wealth. It's been a while since we had the opportunity to come back on our show and talk about the things that we are doing and building wealth. We have took the opportunity for the last couple of months. We've been building on quite a bit of properties. We've been doing a lot of rehabbing, remodeling, so many things that we have done since in the last couple months that we've been talking about Let's Build Wealth, how you build wealth, how you check wealth to come to you by setting your things up in your life. So today we always talk about how do we build wealth? How do we get in the line of building wealth? So then the Bible said a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's. And only way that you can leave a good inheritance for your children's, our favorite what we have built into this broadcast was the power to get wealth. The Bible lets us know in Deuteronomy 8:18, he said, God has given us the power to get wealth, and given us the ability to get wealth is knowing where wealth come from. Wealth can come from a lot of areas that we do in the day. But what God was saying is that he gave us the power, the knowledge, the ability, because you can make wealth in so many areas. Like I said earlier, a few minutes ago, you can make wealth in selling cars. You can make wealth in jewelry. You can make wealth in clothes. You can make wealth in wellness of makeup, body loss programs into weights and different things like in that nature that can bring wealth. So it's not the ability, what can I do to bring wealth? It's just what you want to do to bring wealth. And so what we've learned how to do is to find things in the market that we look upon where we at today, and we want to put our money in it, and then putting our money in it till it can grow to the point it can bring a return on us. So everybody is in, you're in the four market stage of the day, as they talk about. Some people is employees. You work for somebody and you receive a hourly rate. You put in hours, and those hours turn into you to create an income. Some of us have what we call self-employed, that we have our own business, and in that own business, we typically work for ourselves, but we have a job in a sense too, because we have to get that project done. If we don't get that project done, we don't get paid. So self-employed is another way that you can generate your income. Another way you can do it is that you can invest. You could, you have people that invest into different areas that you can put your money in. And an investor, like I am, I invested in real estate. We buy property, fix them up, and we get calls. The last point is what everybody wants is that, and when you invest, you want that money to keep bringing a return back off your money. So whether you on the job, whether you're the self-employee, whether you're that investor, the last one is that what we call passive income. That income never stops. It always comes whatever you're doing. And we always trying to get to number 4. It's because we want that passive income. We want that income to just keep generating. If I get up in the morning, now, let me tell you, typically the one that would be out ruled from this category of getting that passive income or getting that money to keep moving over and over. And it's typically hard for you to be an employee working for somebody else because you're working by timing. You're working by the hourly rate, or you're working by a salary, but you cannot go nowhere. You cannot set it up that where you would be the one that money will be coming in and out over time. That what you want to get to that big investment. So when you put that money in there and that income comes back to you, or over income that never stops. So intentionally, it be kind of hard to really do that. When you become a self-employee, it's the same. It's the same way. It's where you as an employee, self-employed, is that you own that job because you're the owner of that business and you have to be there, because if you are not there, then typically the business not won't run according like it needs to be. You'll make a little bit more money that you make as on an hourly rate, but the key is your time is you're still enable of your timing is set. You can't go if you need to, because unless you have employees under you, and still sometimes that is kind of hard to leave that your business and to go on vacation, or even when you're on vacation, they're calling you on the phone and telling you this going on at the job, or this happened on the job, or this is not taking place. So you actually is really not on a vacation, because you still interact in your business. There's nothing wrong with that. Yes, you do get some more money. Even when you get to the point where you particularly is in an investor, sometimes it's hard to, when we put our money into things, it's still creating, as me as an investor in real estate, I still have to put time in. I still have to work. I still have to make sure my investment is the right ability. But what happened as me as an investor, if I will put my money into something that returns that income over, eventually I'll get to the point where I don't have to do anything else but just get up in the morning and watch my money travels to different areas of my banks, or different areas of where I have money at. So typically you could be in this area. Some people invest in real estate where they have tenants, they're a landlord, typically that can generate that income coming in every month, to where you don't have to be there plunging the hoppers. You're not there fixing the faucet zinc. You're not there fixing the leak in the ceiling, because then you have built that investment to a point that there's people that's working for you that is taking care of that responsibility of managing that property. So my goal is to get to 200 units, which is I'm working on. That's my passive income, to where I won't have to never ever have to do anything in my life but just do what I want to do, is do ministry, and do ministry to a point that when I minister or whatever we're doing, it is allowing us to reach back for my investments and allowing me to reach back and grab that money and do ministry and do what I want to do. If it's to build a new church, if it's to go to Africa and feed millions of people of food, then we have enough income to sustain to what we're trying to go at. So that's where you work on, as you always hear me say, and when you're building that profile, or you're building that plan, it has to be concerns on a piece of paper, so you can understand where you're going at, what directions you're leaning in, how you're getting there. What I mean? It can always be in our mindset. It always can be, we want to do that, but you have to be really, and I'm learning this as we are growing in our business also, as we're growing and we're leaping in a lot of things that we're doing, and it is costing me myself. I teach you a lot of how to, venture this out of your mind and put it where it needs to be at. So you are able to then go and do what needs to take place to create it, so it can create in your life. And so we had to really, now I'm at to the point now is really working with my wife and working with some other business partners, or really getting it out of my head and, really fine tuning it on paper. We got some things on paper. We got where we started at, where we at now. But now we're working on putting things in my future. The things I need to put in perspective now, so later it can fall in place. And so all that comes a part of knowing what you want to build this wealth, knowing what you want to be able to live the lifestyles we want to live at. We can live, as I said earlier, you can live paycheck to paycheck. That's up to you. And nobody's mad at you if that's what you want to do. You can live in that state if you want to. But if you want to better your life and you really want to grow your life for you and your family, then you need to take some opportunities to work on a plan today and get your kids to the next 10 years in a very situation that they don't have to be considered not having. Or you could be, again, a good man, leaves inheritance for his children. And so you want to be in an area that you can leave something here besides when people die, they leave debt. The family got to find a way to bury their family. But that's not intentionally the way God wants us, none of us, to live and building wealth in our life. And so if you study, many people tell us to study, many books, and find out how he made it. But greatest thing I'm gonna tell you, and many of you knows me. If you don't know me, my background is religion, and then I'm always gonna focus on the Bible. I'm always gonna focus on the Word of God, because that is my blueprint. That is whatever I need when concerning business or concerning the knowledge of things that we need. I reach that because I can show a lot of ones in the Bible have made great income for their passing, because everywhere you look in scripture, it teaches us how to possess the land. And the greatest thing that we possess is property. It's the greatest return on all of our money. It's amazing of what the market is right now. It is, crazy the way the market is in real estate. Intensely for years, if you ever look at, and I'm gonna focus on you to show you how important that the what we study and what we seek for and what we are doing, it is created from our Bible. It's created from what God has given us, that we can prosper, we can grow, we can be the greatest, biggest person that ever was, that ever stepped foot on this earth and made so much money. It gives us this. When we study in the first book of the Bible, Genesis, it teaches us how God had created man to be prosper. How he taught man how to grow. How he taught man how to survive. How he taught man how to live. How he taught man how to leave an inheritance for his children. It all was right in that chapter of the first book of the Bible. And so when people ask me, who is your mentor? And I say, the Word, God. He is my mentor. I'm sorry. Yes, I have earthly mentors, but my greatest person that gives me where I'm at today, it was him, because he put the thought in my head or in my mind, and he allowed me to put it on paper. He allowed me to be able to live the way I live today. I give that no credit to but him. I can't get the credit to the market. Because I see people in this kind of market lose everything they got. Just not too long ago on an article that I read. Same thing. Man built this business, did the wrong thing. Now he to a stage now, he has nothing. Calls him and his wife call themselves, now they're in jail. It's because they received some finances and they had done it the wrong way. So it caused them now to lose all of it. In a good market that we're in now, there are people are not successful or what they're doing in their investment. So this is why it's important for me to share with you, while we build wealth, we build it according to the knowledge that he's given us. We can't never throw him out the equation. I don't care who you are, whether you're a believer, you're not a believer. To build a strong business and make that business be to success and keep it going the way it needs to go to if you allow on the principles that he gave us. No book in this world, there is no video you can watch. There is no guide that you can ever take and be more perfected into that business or whatever it is if you will lean to the Bible that he has given to us, that it's a map for us. It's a road map for us. Many times I talk about how, you know, we lean on the GPS, you know what I mean, because we trust it because it helps us to get to one destination to another destination. Well, when you see this, it's the same thing. You can be blessed by sharing the word and asking and praying and, you know, seeking different things out of the scriptures to help us build wealth. I mean, I built this broadcast off of that. I didn't build the broadcast off of raising money and making another income. It generates an income for us. But my whole plan was to give a platform to people to spurge their business, spurge their churches, spurge the ideas. You know, we're taking from the table into people's lives, into people's homes, into people's cars, or just into people's life. Jenna, this broadcast that I'm giving to you today of building wealth will go into somebody's heart, go into somebody's home. I tell you so many times, my motto is not to create thousands of business partners. My plan is if I create one person, one church, one community in what I'm doing and building wealth in their lives, then I have done my assignment. You have to get to the point that you can't worry about everybody that you're trying to help, but you find that one person. What if you're a realtor? Find that one person. What if you a banker? You know what I mean? You work in a bank. Find that one person that you can help and you can motivate them to do a changing by one person in their life. That's all we're working on in this day, is trying to change one person to be able to be where they at and to go where they want to go at. So I'm giving you this today to tell you how to build wealth and knowing in the 4 areas that money controls in our world is that what's way the design that you need to be. He gave it to us. I gave you power to get wealth. The last one is the wealth that we have is a passive income that will always keep going. The investment, which you don't never have to worry about getting up in the morning if you don't want to. Vacation for months, a month. Or as me and my wife can go to Africa for a whole month and won't have to come back and do our business because we have set it up in a way that passive income is taking care of that for us. This is what I'm talking about. You set those goals in front of you and you reach those goals. Whether you reach it by a day, you reach it by a week, you reach it by a month, or you reach it by a year. Every time you start something, you put a timing on when I want to complete this project. You know, we're talking about projects. We're blessed again. We have some of you have known that I already since the last time we talked about the project in Dover that we have done, and we have finished that. I think we're in our 4th month of that project being completed. It's still on the market, which you see, that's good because I was in a place that I have numerous offers. I mean, we could show you the testimonies that it was a great house. It's all about, and I'm going to speak on this, why that thought came on my mind. In real estate, we talk about location. It's all about the location, and that is very true. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not at all. But I want to share with you for where I'm at and a passion that I have for why I'm doing what I'm doing. It's not that, yes, it is bringing us a wealthy income stating into what we're doing. And so we made it over 100% off of my investment that I placed in that project. And so I want to say this. I mean, I'm at a place that I could offer, I could sell it as very low if I wanted to. and it won't still hurt us. But I want to show you where you need to be at, and when you're building your wealth, when you're building the areas you want to go into. My whole point is to bless a family. That's been always have been one of my visions, is I give a home to someone that couldn't afford it and that didn't have the opportunity to own a home. But what we have done have really makes me feel good every day that I've done what I wanted to do. I built a home in a very low uh, area, that the area is causing why my house is not sold today. If it was in another area, it would have been sold less than 24 hours. And we had people wanting to buy it before I got it finished. But it's because every um, report that we get from that property, it's wonderful house, great house, but it's the location. And so someone asked the question, didn't you think about that before you bought it? I did, because my whole point was to put that house in a bad neighborhood, and to only us to get rid of crime or stop the drug addicts or stop whatever is bad in our communities, you must change the house. You got to change. You can't, it's never a location. I hear people say that, well, if you go over in the high expensive location, there's no crime there. Yes, it is. I'm sorry to tell you that. Nobody robs there. Yes, people do rob there. So if you really think about it and you ever look at it, there is no safe neighborhoods. There's no safe neighborhoods. We can make our neighborhoods safe that we can, but we never know where crime at in our neighborhood. I have stories all the time in very $1 million homes, neighborhoods. Crime still in there. People still robbing there. People are children of getting molested in there. So it's not just in that neighborhood where I put that house at. And so we're only going to give it to the people that I think should go there. And there's nobody. That's not the case. There's somebody that can reach that payment that I put on that house, and that will be a beautiful home for them, and they can enjoy it to be in that neighborhood. That's where my heart is at. So when people ask you the question, is your passion to do whatever you need to do to help whoever you need to help, it should be yes. Because our passion should be in the places that when we're building wealth, not just building wealth for me and my wife, but building wealth for another family. So that means that mother or that father can really look back and say, you know what, I was appreciated for somebody helping me to get ahead in my life. That's what wealth is all about. Wealth is not only just to generate income that you can, spurs and spend. No, at the end of the day, you want to sit back and enjoy what you really want to enjoy, my labor that I have done. I really want to enjoy it, not be able to be in a situation where I feel so stressed or I feel so bad that deals I've done was bad deals that I had to beat people to get on the top. I will never live good. You will never live good that way. But if you live the way we teach you how to build wealth, you can stop back one day and you can look back at where you at and you can say, you know what, this is why I got up every morning. This is why I built what I built. This is why I did what I did. And I always talk about this. And I always say this in a lot of my broadcasts. You can go back. We talk about the why. You know what I mean? You got to know what your why is. You got to know why it makes you get up in the morning. You got to know why you do what you do. You got to know why you're putting this, effort into it. Without knowing the why, you'll never know that plan or where it needs to go into. And we talk about that so many. You have to have the encouragement. And every business that you get in, they'll teach you about their why to why you're building that business. But you got to get in your heart and your mind. The business is not about them. The business is about you learning how to build your wealth to where you're trying to go for your family. This is what I teach every time I come on the Power to Get Wealth broadcast, is to help you to reach that goal and let's get to it. Let's do it. Let's complete it. Let's don't start it and don't finish it. My encouragement to you all the time is wherever you're at, you can do just what you want to do. You can create it to happen. And so while we're doing this, every time you go to one situation that you're building, and as you keep going to one project and you keep going to the next project, and you go to the next project. The only thing you're doing is you keep creating to building the wealth when you go through your projects. So where we at today, we're in a situation that we finished one project. Now we're working on two projects at the same time. We're in a project. We're in Greenwood right now, and we're in Cheswold. We're in these two areas that we're now taking a house and we're remodeling another house from the foundation to the top. The house that we got, and I always say that it started with a blueprint, and what I'm holding in my hand is a blueprint. It's something that we had to take before the county and get approved to do this project. And in this project, I had to go to a lot of challenge to get it where it's at right now. And sometimes in the projects we go to this, you know what I mean, where you got to keep giving information for the counties, you know, and the towns, you know. And we have created to one of the towns, we have given them what they wanted. Then they took me to the county and said, you need to get something to the county. So it was another 30 days of another process that I didn't have figured. So in every project you go through, there's going to be challenged. Where there's going to be more money spent, more time you lost. And always what you do is you look at the end results or what you can make after the project is finished. That's how you make your investment off these properties. You know, I mean, you cannot go in it thinking that, oh, I'm going to put a little bit of beauty in it and I'm going to get $1 billion off of it. You can't do that. It's a process. It's a process that a lot of people think that they don't need me that as an investor or as the contractor, and they can do it on their own self. Some people can do it. Some people work out well doing that. But I have seen some people work out no good doing that. And they had to come back to me and I have to help them go through this project and take the less money that they done spent because they don't give it to some other contractors or give it to some other people. And they have took that money and they have done what they want to do with it. So here we try to help you not to make those decisions, to make the right decision on why you're investing. I'm working with two people right now. One that we already helped, one that we have already created to take their project, bring it under to WCPI property, and we got that project to start to finish it. They're able now to put it on the market for their big project. I mean, their big investment that they put in. They start with a figure. We work with them numbers, and now they're able to sell their house for a large profit. So this is where we come in and help you build wealth. We help you do this. Not you have to worry about the stress. And I say this so many times on my broadcast. We help you to build wealth. That's what I've learned. I've done that myself. I have right beside me photos of things that we have done, that we have built, and projects that we have worked on, and they're finished. They're in my portfolio right now to show you that you can take nothing, and make it something. And so this is what we give to you that wants to build wealth. And I always encourage you that when you start something, get a plan, get what you want, get it out of your head, put it on paper, and let's bring this plan to life. So I hope my time is up. I spend half an hour teaching and working on why we need to build wealth, what's important. And so you can do what we do, but you don't have to do it by yourself. And I brought another, we're constantly bringing on some more business partners with us, people that want to get on my wing and they want to learn how to build wealth. We have one, and sometime I'm going to bring them on the broadcast and bring them on our show to show you how it's important to invest with another investor, and knowing that the investor that you invest with have the information. I have the information. We have the knowledge. We have some properties that we're building, and then that he's tapping into today that he had to go out and do the groundwork. I did that. You know what I mean? And now he have come in and he has shared some of his finances with us, which allow him to get a big return off of his money. And each project that he worked with us, and it can be, what is it, 10,000, 20,000. They're different. I'm not gonna put a number on it and tell you can make $50,000 with me by doing one project. You put in 10, I'm gonna give you $50,000 out of that project. Well, we have a plan that we do. How you come in to our program and how you fit in our program. It's determines how much you can make off of that program. I have some people came in and brought in 10,000, 15,000. They making 20,000 off of that deal. And they receive their money back plus the $20,000. That is a good return off your money. You can't get that nowhere else, but by building in real estate. It's one of the. Right now it's a seller's market right now, and it's a great way to go. As I'm speaking right now, so I say to you, as we get ready to go off our show today, I say to you, in building wealth, you got to know how you build wealth. You got to know what you want to do in the line that you want to be into. So I hope that you was blessed by the information I gave you, the things that we're working on. And this project that we're doing now is 2 Brewer Street, Greenwood, Delaware, is what we're working on right now. And we have lifted this house up, which is awesome. And I'm going to try to get next week when I come on and to show you how we lift this house up and show you now how as I'm speaking now, we're putting the foundation in today. We're pulling the footer today as we're speaking later on after I'm airing the broadcast on Tuesdays. And I promise you that this 10 o'clock, and then we'll also build back at the 6 o'clock the evening for some people that just can't get it, so they'll understand what we're doing in building wealth. And so we ask you again, follow us, get in contact with me, let me know, hey, I want to build wealth with you. And some people have already contacted me and already out of DC have already responded to us. We have someone that came in Delaware say, I want to. There's 2 people now that we're 3 that's in Delaware with me that has partnered with us and have done and I have a lot more that we have done projects with. But I'm asking you that you want to build wealth, you want to come a part of a good team that's thriving in this season. Here we are. We're willing to sit down with you and show you how to build wealth, show you how to put this plan together, show you how you can do what we do, and how we can all give a good inheritance for our children. So I say to you, we hope to see you next Tuesday, and you have a blessed day.